everybody. It's Sadie from Hip in Detroit, hanging out with my friend Sam.
Hi.
From Just Talking with Sam. We're at Rock City in Hamtramck, one of my favorite places to meet up and talk to people.
Yep.
And I've been wanting to interview for a long time, so I'm excited.
I love having you on my show, and I'm just thankful.
But now it's my chance
I
to
know.
ask you questions.
It's good to be in the hot seat every so often. Please, fire away.
All right. So the first question is when did you start Just Talking with Sam?
That was started in 2010 after I had a run-in with Kevin Smith. He's our podfather. Like, at the time, I had no idea what a podcast is.
Really?
No idea. So, as a fanboy, we went to Royal Oak Music Theater. Me and my friends, we went to go see him, and I was the guy, like, please sign my book. And
Like Kevin Smith, the director.
Kevin Smith, the director.
Okay.
And
Mallrats, Chasing Amy.
Yep. He signed my book, and he was like, you, come on stage. And I'm like, all right, what else? And he asked me a few questions, and then I start firing back. And to my surprise, I was up there like 20 minutes, and me and him are going back and forth. Nothing to do with the show. He's talking about how I don't have an ass, and I'm talking about how much weed did he smoke. And before I left the stage, he says, hey, do you know what a podcast is? Nope. He said, look into it. You'll do good. I'm like, whatever.
Was that your first time interviewing somebody?
Technically,
Like,
technically, yes, it was.
Okay.
I looked into what podcasting is, and he shot me his email. He says, whatever help you need. And this is weird, because I'm just a guy who went to a show. And I found a good server, and the rest is history.
And did you have equipment at your house? Did you have to collect things?
No, it's just I took $50 and went to Radio Shack. I got the cheapest mic. In the other 35, I had to pay for like server space.
Yep.
And that was it.
That was it.
That was it.
And so, I mean, what was the idea? I'm going to search out people. I'm going to wait for people to come to me. I'm going to interview people I'm interested in.
Well, that came later. The whole deal about this, I was growing up. Like, I miss having my friends around. So, some of the best times I ever had was just shooting the shit with my friends.
Yeah.
So, why don't I have a record button? We just have these talks. And we barely have a subject. We don't have topics. We just shoot the shit. And we just, one day, with the guidance of Kevin Smith, hey, let's just put this on the podcast. Let's just put this on the internet. Because you know the internet is going to be nice to us. And let's see what people think. We got emails back, and people are like, oh my God, I like this, I like this, I like this. It's just a cheap way for me to hang out with my friends.
Okay.
Like, think about the last time you have talked to your friends, or my wife. I love my wife. She's a very integral part of this podcast, but realistically...
Shout out to Tasha.
Yeah, I know, Tasha. Hey, baby. But realistically, I saw where it was going. We don't talk. It's hey, you hungry? What's on TV? Wanna fuck? I mean, that's it. That's just what it is.
It's called a relationship.
That's a relationship. And I kind of felt weird about that. So if I could trick myself as well as my friends to sit down for an hour and just shoot the shit, it just became a thing in its own.
But I mean, over the years now, I mean, you interviewed us, which
Yeah.
is very flattering, but I mean, you've interviewed Shirley Manson, we were just talking
Yep.
about. What are some of the other big names that you
Shirley Manson, Jay Larson, we kind of, Naeem Lynn. Oh man, we have some more people coming up, but off the top of my head, a lot of Detroit local scene.
Yeah.
It's just
You've been really supportive of the local scene.
very supportive.
Music, restaurants, all that kind of stuff.
Have to.
Yeah.
The way we figure, this came later. Instead of just talking with my friends every week, we just kind of put it out there. Hey, should we interview people who's not our friends?
Yeah.
And then that came with that, and that's where you guys came, and that's where all these people came, because it turns out they want to be a part of the fun too.
Yeah.
We're not structured at all. We sit down, we are the most chill, laid back, for lack of a better term, we call it an interview, but
I mean, I don't know, we're pretty chill too. We might be equal on that.
yeah, no, it's almost.
Maybe that's why we get along so
yeah,
well.
no, it's just a conversation, and sometimes people miss that. So people want to be a part of the fun. We're good with it.
Do you have a favorite interview you've done so far?
No. Fun fact, I have never listened to any one of my podcasts.
I don't watch my videos, like very rarely. When I do, I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, who is that bitch. I don't like it that much.
It's not me. It's just I feel I was there. I did it.
Right. I very rarely watch my videos, and ask Christy, when I do, it does not go well.
I know. The way I treat my podcast, they're all my babies. I can't say which one was better, which one was worse. Even I've had horrible guests, and it's still a good podcast because it made a good story.
And how often are you putting them out? Do you have any sort of regular schedule?
Every Sunday.
Just every Sunday?
Every Sunday, go to samshownation.com. You'll see a new one. We post on Facebook or all forms of social media when it
I
comes
always
out.
try to retweet.
It's every Sunday. That's it.
You've been doing it ever since the start, though.
Yeah, ever since. And
it's a lot of work, Sam.
you think it is, but it's not. Well, yeah, I admit it is work, but it don't feel like it.
It doesn't. Well, if you love it, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it. It's just me running my mouth for an hour a week. That's not hard.
And you have an event coming up, which I really wanted to talk about. We have
The
this
roast.
Roast of Sam.
Yeah.
Can you give me some details?
Here it is.
What's going on?
We've been doing this for a little over 4 years. So we figure, we shoot the shit all the time. We've had live shows before, but what's the essence of the podcast itself? Just talking with our... And then we figure, hey, it's around the time of my birthday. What do you want to do for your birthday? I don't want a present. Let's get it. I'm old. We get it.
How old are you going to be?
I will be 30.
You will be 30. He's old. He's 30.
Yes, I'm
Thanks,
old.
asshole.
So since I'm about to be old, let's just have fun with it. What would you say, what would we do normally on a 30th birthday? We'd probably sit back and drink and make some jokes, usually at the birthday boy's expense. And then we thought, can we make this a thing?
Yeah.
And then that's the birth of the roast. So pretty much.
Where is it happening? When's it
Okay.
happening?
The Detroit Pub, 14 in Harper, July 18th. Doors open at 8. There's a $5 cover. But in that $5, you get to see some great bands. You see After the Tide. You see Name Tag and Nathan Driz Johnson, all alumni of the podcast. And you get to
Detroit will be there, at least I will.
Okay. And you get to see everyone, including Sadie, that I have been in contact with in the last 30 years. Tell me how horrible I am.
Yeah, there you go.
I look forward to it. I may be drinking heavily to forget. Because on paper, it sounds like an awesome idea.
Yeah,
but
the reality of
in
it.
reality, it's still an awesome
It's
idea.
like when I decided to get on stage to pretend I was Courtney Love.
Yeah.
That sounded really cool until I was on stage pretending I was Courtney Love, and I was like, oh shit, I've never done this before.
Yeah, that's kind of, well, we're not afraid of crowds. We can talk in front of a crowd, but what I get text at least twice a day from my closest friends and family with roast jokes.
That's so awesome.
So I get 2 self-esteem enders a day.
That's so awesome. And that's just because you have a great personality, and you're somebody that people,
I'm doing
good time.
I get it. It's all out of love. But at first we had a regular dais of people to roast. But apparently this thing has gotten so widespread, we can't have a dais anymore. We have a sign-up sheet.
Okay.
So pretty much anyone who wants to roast me can.
This is your opportunity.
They're
Everybody
little-
from high school, everybody that always wanted to make fun of Sam, this is your chance to come out and just give it to him.
Yeah.
And he has to sit there and smile. That's the nice thing about a roast.
Yeah.
You can't, even if you do care, you can't pretend. You're like,
The only thing we limit it to is 5 minutes because it's so many people.
yeah.
I was kind of astounded by the amount of people who want to tell me how full of shit I am.
That's really awesome. Well, I'm a big fan of yours, Sam.
Thank you.
I love what you're doing. I totally support it. You've been one of our biggest supporters.
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan of yours.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
no.
at the end of the day, and I think that's something really cool, and I think something that maybe a lot of different other outlets in this area aren't maybe on board with, is at the end of the day, and I've been saying this since day one, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a fangirl to the millionth degree. Like, there's a reason that I support the band, or me and Christy support the bands that we do, that we go to shows, that we go to restaurants. Rock City, we love this place. We purposely come here because we love these people. They let us talk here.
Right.
And I love that we're building a community finally of people who kind of all support each other.
Well,
which was the whole idea.
Yeah.
For us at least.
Well, for yours was a great idea. Ours, that idea kind of came later. We just miss general conversation. Like, and I guess this kind of sort of came with the roast. Like, we live in a world with social media where people take themselves tremendously seriously. I know, present company included sometimes.
Not
But
really.
it's just let it go. If I can make fun of myself and half of Detroit can make fun of me too, it's fine. We can all have fun together.
It is fun.
But I mean, like you can't shorthand a relationship. So that's kind of where the podcast started, and we sort of have that weird code. We have what is called the double F rule. We reference it on the podcast. Our guests are usually either we're fans of or friends of. Fans or friends. Yeah, I mean, I would feel weird if I talked to someone that I didn't really know, because I feel like I'm lying to my audience.
Also, just one, do you have anybody that kind of inspires you? Anybody you look up to as like an interviewer that you kind of try to emulate?
My style has been updated and redacted so many times. I mean, like, it's interviewers' greatest hits with me. Like, I have a lot of influences from Kevin Smith, obviously, who has Smodcast. I have a lot of stuff from Chris Hardwick of Walking Dead.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Mark Maron. It's a lot of Mark Maron in me. It's a lot of Aisha Tyler, like Jay Moore. It's a lot of people that I would just take pieces of, adapt them to my personality. Like, how would I do this? And you put them in a blender and you get me. So that's where I kind of take from.
Okay. My big inspiration was Howard Stern. So that's why I was.
See, you a Stern girl?
Oh, I'm a Stern girl.
I went the opposite. I'm Opie and Anthony.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
He makes fun of them a lot.
Yeah, they make fun of Howard Stern.
I can't make fun of Howard Stern.
When they do a pretty good
The
job.
reason that I was so inspired by Howard Stern, and I feel that you do this too, which is a compliment to you, is that he can make anybody interesting.
Oh, yeah.
He will make, a celebrity, a superstar like a Lady Gaga or a Donald Trump or somebody. He can make them interesting.
Yeah.
But he can also have a janitor come in.
That's
and
right.
he'll get a story out of them.
Well,
and I think that's something that you can do, like you said, when you bring in a friend or something.
Yeah.
Everybody has a story.
That's
and they're
it.
very interesting. It's not just, this big famous person. There's people around Detroit doing all sorts of amazing things,
Yes.
whether they're, sewing pillows or creating a jewelry line or I don't even know, even raising your kids and giving tips on how to do that. It's like everybody has something to tell you, just have to get it out of them.
Well,
and I feel like you're good at that.
yeah, it's because I don't. Here's some another like code. We should actually have these like 10 commandments on the wall or something. One thing we say a lot is you can't fuck with the truth. Whatever it is whatever it is at the end of the day. You can lie, but it's gonna come out in the end.
It will.
So yes, you're right. Everyone does have a story. Everyone has that one gem that they pull out at a party or something. Hey, remember that time I did this? Tell it.
Yeah.
You found it was so good to tell at that party. Tell it to a stranger. Tell it to whoever's listening, because you yourself feel better, and somebody probably been through that. Somebody think you're interesting because you are interesting. If only for that one time, you're interesting.
I agree with you. All right, well, please check out Just Talking with Sam. The roast is coming up. But, download it. You can bring it anywhere with you.
Yeah.
Listen to it whenever you want. It's a good thing to listen to. I listen to it at the gym sometimes or driving to and from work, yes. Gym usually is my place where I listen to something that I want to pay attention to.
Okay.
Because, you're in the zone and you're just listening to whatever that is. So
All right.
I suggest that to all of you guys, but we're big fans of Sam, and I really appreciate you coming and
Oh,
talking.
thank you. Thank you for having me. It's good being on the other side of the interview for a change.
For once. Get back
No.
to what you do best, though.
Okay, I guess.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, bye.